How I actually became a Dinosaurs. I had been setting in with the Dinosaurs now and then, you know, but I was in the middle of Twilight Zone. I was working with actually Robert Hunter. Robert and I were doing some things together for Twilight Zone. We were doing some writing together. And Robert said, "Man, I can't. I'm doing so much. I want to. Twilight Zone wants me to do this and write this. I said, I got to give up the Dinosaurs." So he sent in and said, told him he couldn't really do it no more, you know. So the next day they called me up and I accepted, and that's how. And the next meeting with Robert and I said, "Robert, guess what?" He says, Robert says, "Merl, I quit the dinosaur." I said, "Guess what? I'm in a dinosaur now." So, so it was quite funny. But as a matter of fact, I'm still a dinosaur. We're kind of in a hiatus because of Dr. John, not the doctor. Let's see, not Papa John got sick, and actually that was my call. John Cippolina, sweet, sweet, sweet man, sweet John. Uh, John and I really go back, and not to change the subject, but we're going to get into the dinosaurs. If I'm going to tell you about the dinosaurs, I really got to tell you about why I became a dinosaur. Because, first of all, I've been knowing John and in this company for maybe about the 20 years. And John, you know how he's had that look, a rock star. And the long black hair and this vampire look of being like, at time, but always have this big, beautiful smile. And you hear these big stories about John, you know, that scare you to death. So I would always say, John would always walk to me at maybe at Winterland, "Hi, Merl, what's happening?" We'd sit down and talk. I'd say, "Yeah, okay, fine." And I'd split, you know, because I'd hear these horrid stories about, you know, John Cippolina. I had a chance to go on the road with a group called Silver. It was Silver. It was called something. It was part of Quicksilver's band, yeah. The piano player got sick or something, and they asked me to go out with them. And it was Silver and Gravenitis and whatever. John was in that band. Something happened on the road, and they were having a big hassle about John and his lady. Well, John had a lady with him on the road, and no one really liked it. And so I said, "Well, John, me and you room together. You'll sleep in the bedroom with your lady, and I'll sleep on the couch because I get up in the morning and do my jog and everything." We said, "Okay." That's how I really found out about John Cippolina. He is the most humble, gifted, talented human being, totally outrageous character at the highest level, and a sweet, sweet, sweet man. That's how I met John Cippolina, and then and that's how I go back to when I was in got in the Twilight Zone, and affiliate with him. When Hunter got out, I just said, "There's a great chance to play with John all the time," and that's one of the reasons I really got John. Not to say that John Cippolina, not Barry Melton, they're very nice guys. It's another good. They're very good human beings, all of them. Spencer Dryden and Peter Album and. They're just incredible, good guys too, good musicians too. The one thing they know about it, they'll probably hear about it. They don't like to practice, and I like to practice, and they're just like water. It gets stagnant if you don't do shit. So I like to kind of stir up and keep busy, you know. And so that's what I like to do. That's one of the things I really like. I put together this group from the Rainforest Band that I put on the same level as Reconstruction. They were hand-picked. I got first of all, I was doing the Rainforest. Jerry and I were going to do a lot of things this year together, but due to the tragic things that happened to the dead this year, they had to unite and get their things together and practice a lot, and break in the new keyboard player. Vince is his name. And okay, the question comes up, Merl, did they ask you? Man, I got phone calls from everywhere in the world. You know where I went? I took my little self and went straight to Hawaii and said, "Fuck it." I am too involved with myself, my kids, my grandkids, doing what Merl likes to do. I like to write. I wouldn't if I'd have been a Grateful Dead head. Have been in that band? Do you think I would have wrote the Rainforest? No, I wouldn't have written that. I would have wrote that song because I'd been in the dead world, Grateful Dead land. So I love them. I love them dearly, and I'll come to their aid if they need me. But if they ask me to join them, hey, this is just plain old Merl, and I love working with CBS. For this past 6 years, I'm associate producer for the Grammys. That's on there. For the past they just called me to do the Living Legend show, which I'll be associate producer. And this show, I write scripts and part scripts on this thing, and I'll be writing scripts for Billy Joel, Aretha Franklin, Johnny Cash, and who is the other? Did I miss someone? Quincy Jones. That's coming December 5th. Hey, I couldn't do this if I was in the Grateful Dead. So this is the things that I like to do and I love to do.